Hi everyone, I'm Tanaaz from foreverconscious.com and this is your weekly energy forecast for the week of December 1st. We have such a big week of cosmic energy welcoming us into the month of December. We are in the final month of 2024. I just want to take a moment before I go into the forecast to I think all of us needing to just pause and really maybe putting our hands on our hearts and really just feeling into where we are at this point in the year. We have made it through 11 months of 2024, and here we are. We may not like exactly where we are, but if we could take a moment to just get present and to honor everything that we have moved through over those last 11 months. You've made it, you've done it, you've gotten through whatever the universe has thrown your way in 2024 thus far. We're almost at the end. You have made it through, and here you are showing up, trying to learn, trying to better yourself, trying to find ways to soothe and nourish your soul. So take a minute to really breathe that in, to really feel that in, that journey that you have traveled. Welcoming us this week on November 30th, December 1st, that will depend on your time zone, we have this beautiful Sagittarius new moon. New moons always bring a fresh energy, and there's definitely some beautiful fresh energy attached to this new moon. We may just need a little bit of a reset or a recharge in order to feel it. Sometimes with new moons, we need to take a little bit of a step back first. We need to retreat, kind of go into our own darkness, if you will, our own shadow, and then recharge, reset in order to feel that flow of fresh energy. It's a Sagittarius new moon, so there's this wonderful, fiery, adventurous spirit attached to the new moon. And if we think of Sagittarius as the symbol of Sagittarius, which is the arrow of the archer, it's a great time to think about where we are aiming our own arrows. And actually, if you were to look in our night sky and trace a straight line from that Sagittarius archer's arrow, where it's pointing right at the star Antares. And Antares is one of the 4 royal stars. Astrologers singled out 4 stars as gateways of our galaxy, one in the north, east, south, and west, or gateways to heaven, I should say. And Antares was one of them. So the Sagittarius archer is aiming right at Antares, which is known as the heart of the scorpion. And it just so happens that this new moon aligns perfectly with the Antares gateway, which happens around the 2nd to the 4th of December every year. So this new moon is perfectly aligned with that star Antares. Antares is believed to be the resting place for souls on their way to the afterlife. It is a very heart-opening energy. It can have some intensity to it as well, but it is a very heart-opening energy. And if we think about this idea that Antares is the resting place for souls journeying to the afterlife, I kind of think, well, none of us watching this are on our way to the afterlife anytime soon, I hope. It is a good time to kind of think about, what would you reflect in that space? If you were to imagine that you were there in that space, what would you be reflecting? What would be in that resting place? Would you be happy with how you've lived your life? Would you want to make changes? And it's hard to put ourselves in that position, but this would be a good time to ask yourself that. It's a pretty deep question, a good time to ask yourself that and to think about how you can change course, change direction if you're not happy with something, if you're not prioritizing what is really important. I know we are in the peak of the holiday season. It's a stressful time for everybody. You might be traveling, you might be dealing with family, financial issues seem to be heightened at this time of year as well. It can just be a difficult time. And so are we really focusing on what's important? At the end of the day, are we going to remember the big lines at the airport? Are we going to remember the fact that we didn't have enough money to buy our child the gift that they wanted? I mean, yeah, all of these things are real and they're present, but what at the end of the day is really important? And I think that this question can help us kind of just find our balance in this chaotic time, and to just kind of bring our awareness back to what truly matters and what is the message of Antares. It's the heart of the Scorpion. It's our heart. It's our heart's desires. It's our love, our passion, our connection, our feelings of purpose that are not out there. They're in here. There's an excellent reminder this week that we do not find our purpose. We are our purpose, and our purpose flows through us. And when we change that way of thinking, it can really shift the way we think about purpose and what we're here to do. It flows through and out of us and through everything that we do. We don't have to, have the dream career or the dream relationship or the dream house to live our purpose. It's not about that. It's about what's in here. So I think it's a good time to reconnect with what is truly important, what is truly at the root of our heart's desire. And that new moon is going to help us set those intentions. So put those intentions out. I have a ritual, as always, to guide you. The ritual, I tried to combine a little bit of Antares energy in there with the new moon energy. So it's a good ritual to do for both of those big cosmic events that are happening simultaneously this year. We also have a couple of planetary shifts this week. So Mercury is in retrograde. Now Mars is going to go retrograde on December 6th. This is a big energy because Mars retrogrades the least out of all the planets. It's the retrograde that we feel the most strongly. And kind of getting back to what's really important, Mars is our retrograde is a great big reset on what motivates us, what inspires us, what gives us the drive and the motivation and the energy to do what we do. That is up for renegotiation. That is up for reevaluating under this Mars retrograde. It's a pretty lengthy cycle. It runs all the way until February of next year, but it even kind of goes beyond that because of the shadow periods. If you want to learn more about it, check out the article I wrote on foreverconscious.com. I'll drop a link in the description box below. I'll also put a link to that ritual as well. So yeah, this Mars retrograde really helping us to reevaluate. And it can kind of create a feeling of sluggishness. Mars retrograde can really get us to slow down, and we can feel a bit of a lack of motivation. While our motivation is recalibrating, we may feel a sense of dormancy, or we may feel like for every 2 steps we're taking forward, we're taking a step back. It can kind of have a little bit of that energy. So I would say to you at this point in our month, really try not to take on too much. Take on way less than you think you need to. Try to slow down. Try to make time and space for pause, for rest, for recharging, for relaxation. Try not to take on too much. This energy really is asking us to slow down and listen and recalibrate our energy levels. And we can only really do that if we get present with ourselves, and we can only really do that if we're taking and making the time to slow down, which is very, very difficult for a lot of us to do at any time in the year. But somehow December just feels like it goes a million miles a minute. And yeah, we really need to work extra hard to find that stillness, to find that slowdown. Also this week, we have Neptune stationing direct after being retrograde for the last 6 odd months. That happens on the 7th. So we've got a planet going retrograde, a planet going direct. Neptune direct can bring up where we have been blindsided, where we have perhaps been looking at things with rose-colored glasses, or had a little bit of the wool pulled over our eyes, where we have been looking at things through a veil of illusion or deception. It can lift that for us. So if that's been a theme or something that you've been working on, you may realize a new truth around this end of the week. A new truth, a new insight, a new inspiration might come your way. It may be something in your external life. It could also be something in your spiritual life as well. You might realize a new truth spiritually. If you've been on a new spiritual journey over the last 6 months, you may start to have deeper realizations about it. You may start to feel like you're aligning with a new truth. That is Neptune stationing direct on the 7th. So we have Sagittarius new moon, Antares stargate, Mars retrograde, Neptune direct. There's some other planetary stuff going on too, especially under this new moon. There's a little bit of Saturnian energy. Saturn can always feel a little bit heavy, a little bit like hard work, but remember, coming back to the heart, coming back to what's truly important. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to shuffle a card to go with our reading for the week from my Cosmic Astrology Oracle deck. These are sold out, but I will have more in the new year, probably mid-new year when I get off maternity leave. Okay, so I'm just going to shuffle. Oh, and also do not forget, your moon calendars for 2025 are available. The Etsy store will be closing December 17th. So please, if you would like a calendar, do not wait. Do not wait for the new year. December 17th is the last day you'll be able to order. I'm going to be traveling, and then I go on maternity leave when I get back. So this is what the calendar looks like. You get dates for the new moons, full moons, retrogrades, all of that fun stuff. All right, let me shuffle it. Shuffle the cards. Those calendars, by the way, are available on Etsy. If you want to see pictures of how it looks, there's a picture on there, there's a video on there. The link is in the description box below. All right. Andromeda. We got Andromeda last week. All right. I don't know. We're revisiting. Let's see. It's come up twice. All right. Freedom. It's the card of freedom. Andromeda is the constellation of the chained woman. In mythology, she was chained as a sacrifice to a sea monster, but was later rescued and found full freedom. Andromeda represents the process we go through of breaking the chains that bind us so we can find our own freedom. Really think about these words this week. This card has come up twice, and I always, when I'm shuffling, set the intention of just what is the most helpful card for us as we journey through the week. So I don't know, something is pointing to breaking the chains. What does that mean to find our freedom and break the chains? What does it mean to you? You have drawn this card for perhaps something is tying you down, holding you back, or keeping you prisoner. Alternatively, the situation you are asking about can lead to this feeling if you don't take measures to avoid it. Be mindful about what you choose to commit to and the type of agreements you're making. If you're feeling held back in any way, this card is a positive sign that freedom can be found. You may have to take courageous action, but the universe is on your side. Break free of your fears, anxieties, and things that are holding you back. Support what makes you feel free to lead the life you desire. What supports you to feel free? That might be a question you want to take on as a journal prompt. If you're feeling weighed down by responsibilities, this card is also a signal to delegate, set boundaries, and ask for help. That is a good reminder for this time of year, doing the delegation, trying to, excuse me, I have a little bit of a stuffy nose today, trying to not do everything yourself. In the booklet that comes with the cards, I have some additional meanings, and I'm going to read them just because it's come up twice. This card, don't try to do everything yourself. Break free from ideas, thoughts, feelings, and people that hold you down. Do something that makes you feel free. Consider any contracts carefully. Well, that's good because it's Mercury retrograde as well. Boost your self-esteem and self-worth. Andromeda may be your true star home. All right, we've had this card twice in a row. There's something for everybody watching this to meditate on. If you were here last week and you remember this card from last week, maybe there is more to the story. Maybe whatever is going on for you right now, there is something that this card is trying to point you to. So think about it. Think about it through the week. How are we being called to invite freedom and break free of the chains that bind us, keep us stuck, keep us small, keep us playing in the victim game? Something to think about. All right, you can find so much more over at foreverconscious.com. Forecasts for the full moon, not full moon, sorry, new moon. Forecasts for the whole month of December. I'm currently working on, with Narayana, a horoscope for 2025, a yearly horoscope. That should be available soon. There's that ritual, Mars retrograde up there for you too to read about. Plus, don't forget those moon calendars, your support really, really, really does mean a lot to me. So thank you so much to everyone who has gotten that and who will purchase. It really does mean a lot. And I will see you all next week. I'm Tanaaz from foreverconscious.com. Thank you so much.